were like, unfasten. I was like...
Please also note you will find a life vest under your seat in case of a water landing emergency. Place it over your head and pull the strips to inflate the jacket. If it does not inflate, you can blow into the red toggles on either side.
I love it. It was interesting. It was unique. It felt like I was home. You know, the whole flying experience felt like... The only thing that doesn't feel unique is the pilots. That's what I've noticed, actually everywhere in the world. If you want to feel what a country's like, listen to the flight attendants, right? But then the pilots, no matter where you are all the same. It's almost like they went to the same school where they've been trained the same way to fly. They've all got that same sexy pilot's voice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, flight attendants can sound however they like. You know, they do that thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. No, there's no pilot like that. When pilots come on, they always do that thing of theirs. Boom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Aboard this Fly Safe flight. This is your captain, John Davies speaking, and I'm going to be taking you down. It's going to be approximately 2 hours. We're just waiting for the last few bags to get loaded, and we're going to be closing the doors, heading off shortly in a northeasterly direction. Taking to cruising. Like, why are they always running out of breath? Is there a reason that pilots cannot complete one single sentence when they're making announcements? Every time that they're like, we're gonna be at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. It always sounds like they're getting head in the cockpit. Can anybody tell me why? Why does it sound like every pilot is receiving immense amounts of pleasure and they can't get a single sentence out? Every single pilot. It's like someone started just before they started. They were there and they're like, no. Welcome everybody, let me introduce you to your cabin crew on this flight. In the rear we've got Tandeka, we've got John, and we've got Liesl who are going to be looking after you. Up front my co-pilot, Mr. Defette's going to be looking after us. Flight time should be not too long. Keep your seatbelts fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. I'll let you know once it's safe to move around, but until, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Oh, Fly Safe. Felt like home.
Love you, Trevor.
Ah, man, love you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. You don't understand how I miss this, guys. You know, how I miss doing shows back home, how I miss being home, you know, watching the news, talking to people, getting a sense of what's happening. You know, there's nothing like being in the country, feeling it. You know, because I like when I was coming back, I was like, I wonder if is it going to be the same? Is it going to have changed? Will I still understand? And then, look, 99% of it, I still understand. The 1% I've realized is because I was away for too long. Yeah, because the country moves in a direction. Right? That's just what happens. And the longer you're away, the less you move with the people. I've noticed that in small things. I need to catch up to where South Africans are in certain things. You know, one of them being load shedding. Yeah, no, I'm behind when it comes to load shedding. Yeah, because when I left South Africa, and when I left, like load shedding was like 1 hour, maybe every few weeks. Do you know that type of thing? And now when I come back, they're like, it's stage 6. And I'm like, is this Mario Brothers? I didn't even know. Just every single day. Tlangan, tlangan, tlangan. And the reason I know I'm behind is because I still react to load shedding. That's it, I react. I've noticed South Africans, you don't flinch anymore. Nothing. Now when the lights go out, I'm the only idiot who's like, load shedding. And you see people around me like, oh, where's this guy from? He doesn't even know load shedding. Welcome to the future, buddy. What an idiot. South Africans have had load shedding for so long now that I don't know if you've noticed this, But you've started becoming load shedding connoisseurs. You know, I've heard conversations where people are talking about load shedding, and they'll be talking about their favorite load shedding. People will be sitting there and they'll be like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite load shedding easily, bro, is like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's like the best load shedding. That's when you want load shedding, eh? Because like you're already asleep, right? It doesn't bother anything, it doesn't mess anything up. That's like the best load shedding ever. People are there fighting. No, I think 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Ah, guys, you're crazy. No, that's the best. Let me tell you the best. My favorite load shedding. Guys, you can't have your favorite bad thing. Are you kidding me? How long has this been going for that you're like, oh, this is my favorite? You can't have a favorite bad thing. That's like someone being like, yeah, my favorite plane crash. My favorite plane crash is the one that goes like this. That's my favorite one. My favorite load shedding. It's ridiculous. People have moved, people have changed. There's dynamics I don't understand. You know, I'm trying to get used to it. For instance, the last time I was doing shows here, when load shedding would hit, the lights would just go out, and that would be it. Like when you were at a shop, the lights would go out, and that was that. And then now everyone has generators. And so now there's a pause, but I didn't know about this. And I've noticed that the lights go out, and when they do, everyone in South Africa just stands where they are. And then when the lights come on, they carry on. Yeah. That's weird. At least have fun in the load shedding. Huh? There's a moment of darkness. Make it exciting, make it creative. I've started figuring out some things. You know, like at the Checkers that's next to my house, what I do is whenever I'm shopping there, I know that the load shedding, between the load shedding and the generator kicking in, it's 45 seconds. So what I'll do is, if the load shedding hits in that 45 seconds, I'll just take boxes off the shelf and I just stack them into like a tower, and then I'll step away from it. Then when the lights come back, it's like, I'm like, ah, Kibuloi. I just try and make things interesting. Because there's things that you have to understand. There's things that are different now. One of the weirdest ones for me, happened when I needed to get new appliances for my house, right? So I needed to get like kettles and toasters and all those small things. And so I went, right? I was going to at home. I was at home. No, I was at. They must change the name of that shop because you can't, how do you say it? Because you can't say I was at home because then it seems like I was ekaya. So you were at home, but that doesn't sound grammatically. They should have just called it home and we say the at. Anyway, I was by that shop, né? And so I'm there busy shopping for appliances. And while we're shopping, everything's normal, everything's not. And about at 5 to 2, one of the employees walks out from behind the cash register. And she's like, ladies and gentlemen, please stay where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay where you are. And I'm there like, did we win something? And then without missing a beat, the security guards at home closed the doors, and then they locked the gate. And then they stood in front of the door. And then the staff came and stood with them. And then they just looked at us. Now, I don't know what's happening. South Africans who've been here know exactly what's going on. I just saw people lock the gates, block the entrance, and stare at me like they're challenging me. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is Squid Game. I'm like, things have gotten so bad in South Africa that now you have to fight your way out of a shop. Like literally, while they're staring at me, all I'm thinking in my head is, and then the lights go out. And they come back. And she's like, thank you very much, everybody. You can continue. And then they open the shop. And then everyone just carried on like nothing happened. Everyone was just there doing their thing. I was stunned. I'm looking at everybody like this. So I go to the counter. Hello, guy. See the guy's name tag. I'm like, Eta, how's it, my man? Tabo, ne? He's like, sure. I'm Trevisto. How are you, my brother? I'm like, I'm grand. Buena? He's like, I'm good, my man. I'm good. Sure. How can I help you? I was like, Tibos, what happened? What just happened? He's like, where? Everywhere, Tabo. Everywhere. What just happened everywhere? You just locked the shop, looked like you were threatening us, and now everything's gone back to normal. He's like, oh, hey, son. No, Trevor, it's because of the load shedding. I'm like, no, Angitsi, that doesn't explain anything. What happened? He's like, hey, you haven't been here for long, ne? So you see, Trevor, ne? Because of load shedding, what started happening ne, was some of the customers, ne, they started realizing that when the load shedding hits, ne, the sensor there by the door, it's not working. You see? So then, those customers started coming just before load shedding. Then they were filling their trolley, just filling it up. We were even watching like, we are doing well today. These people, it's not even month end. They were filling the trolley. Then they were standing by the door. Then the lights was just going, zoo. Then these ones were, bah. Then the lights was coming back, zoo. Then the shelves were empty. It was like a magic trick, Trevor. Yeah, then the owner of the shop came. They didn't believe us when we told them what happened because the camera was also off because of load shedding. Then they said we are the ones who stole it. And because we are responsible for stock control, we decided as the staff, we are going to do something about it. So now, when we see it's going to be load shedding, 5-2, we just close the door and we lock. And then we just stand there where we can see each other. Yeah. Does it make sense? I was like, Tabo, not only does it make sense, but this has instantly become my favorite shoplifting story of all time. Are you like the ingenuity of South Africans? Huh? To have the idea, to think of that. That's easily my favorite shoplifting story, easily. Because I love shoplifting stories. I love them. I love reading about them. You know, hearing how people try to shoplift or like shoplifting syndicates. I'm always intrigued by how people do it. One of my favorites actually, started during COVID in the United States. Right? There was a lot of shoplifting and it evolved when COVID ended, it continued. What somebody discovered was that there's a hack with the sensors at the front of the shop, okay? And so somebody discovered that if you have an item that has a tag on it, right? You know, the metal tag on clothes or, you know, the little sticker. We all know what happens when you walk past the sensor, it beeps. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Even if you hide it. Beep, 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 beep. Right? We all know how it works. But then somebody discovered that if you have the item and then you shake, it doesn't beep. I swear on my life. Guys, it went viral on